Alright, so in this video we're going to talk about how to write the proper booking email for booking live music or booking a show. I see a lot of people on Facebook groups, Reddit groups asking about this, asking what is the best format to use, do's and do nots, stuff like that. And I will say there's not just one golden way to do it, but there are a lot of commonly accepted formats. And just from my experience as a musician who's booked hundreds of shows, I can show you what's worked for me. And then from the other side of the coin, I've worked for a lot of music venues and currently work for a music venue booking shows for them and filling their live music calendar. So I get a lot of emails, a lot of artists are emailing me booking requests firsthand, so I can kind of show you what I like to see and what seems to get the job done. So without further ado, we'll just dive right in. First off, we'll just cut right to the chase. This email right here, this is an email format that I use for my band. What we're looking at here is just a very basic greeting the talent buyer or the venue owner, and then just who we are with a hyperlink to the band, and then getting right to the point and asking for a very specific date. It can be one date, it can be 2 dates, it can be 3 dates, but I do think there's value in being specific because it gives them something specific to respond to. So a lot of times people will email me and they'll be like, we're just looking for a show, anything works, which is fine. But when you get a ton of those over and over and over, sometimes it's more motivating from the person on the other end of the email to see a specific date, to be able to pull up a specific date on their calendar and just cut right to the chase. So that's what that is right there. And then right here with the links listed out, this top one is the most important one. And for every band I talk to, I tell them this, like, the most valuable thing you can provide to a venue or a restaurant or wherever you're trying to play is a live video of what you're trying to have booked so they can know exactly what it is they're getting. So this is a YouTube video that's linked here, and it pops up here on the bottom, and it's just an exact representation of what we do. And so as a band, if you don't have a video like that, that's one of the first things I'd recommend you go out and get. And it doesn't have to be a $5,000 super high-end production video. As long as it's just a decent video with decent sound that shows what you're trying to do on that stage, that's going to help you get indoors a little faster, because they just know exactly what they're getting. If they go to your Spotify, they can listen to the music and it might sound great, but they don't know if there's sounds like there's an 8-piece band on the recording. Is that what they're getting live? So that's the point of that. So that live video is super clutch. I know it sounds like common sense, but a lot of artists don't have that, or they just neglect to share it in the email, and it's really important. So that's the most important thing. I always put it right at the top, and it hyperlinks at the bottom. And then, of course, website, Facebook, Spotify, you can throw those in there as well. And then just an exit greeting here. It's really very straightforward and simple, and that's important because you don't want to throw a whole book at these people to read. The people that do the booking, most of the time, it's not their full-time job. They're doing this as part of a lot of other responsibilities they have. So the shorter you can keep this email, the more to the point that you can get it to be, the more likely it is that they're going to pay attention to that. And then at the bottom, I like to put a picture, so they can get a visual vibe really fast of the band. And then again, down here, the YouTube link, the thumbnail will show up when you link it into the body of the text. So to me, this is a format that's worked really well. And it's a format that I get as well from a talent buyer's perspective when people email me who do a good job of just gathering up their info in a concise way. This is a format I like to see. The subject line, which we didn't really touch on, it's again just really straightforward, just who the band is, live music, and the dates. So this has worked really well. Feel free to implement it and kind of draw from it. But it's not rocket science, and this isn't the only way to do it, but it is a clean, professional way to approach a venue. So I'll show you some of the things that I get that don't work quite as well. First off, like this one here, and I've censored out all the information, so we're not trying to put anyone on blast. But this is very clear that this was just part of a newsletter blast. So, it's something where they're putting together an email and just emailing hundreds of venues all in one click, which usually is not the best way to get good results. And a lot of times it comes through very janky, to say the least. You can see like the text is cut off up here, and then like the images that are embedded aren't even showing up, even though I was allowing images to show up. Tons of links, way too much information. This is not a good look, and it's not something that, as someone who's busy trying to work through a ton of emails, wants to really try and sift through. Here's another example. This one's kind of the other end of the spectrum, where there's just not any information. Just band looking to play. I have a band, we're looking to play some gigs. How long of a set are you guys looking for? And so, from my end or from a talent buyer's end, unless I'm just, looking to chat with someone, this doesn't really give me anything to go off of. And, it's just not a super professional approach. This one is similar, maybe a little better. It's just someone reached out. I'd love to entertain your patrons. We have an acoustic duo, trio. Let us know when we can work together, which, there's nothing really wrong with this. It's just there's no links to who they are, what they do. So it forces the talent buyer to have more of a conversation and take more time just to get to the point. And then this one right here, this one wasn't horrible, but it's just a little more meaty than most people want to sift through. You can see there's a lot of it's censored. Obviously, their band name was repeated many times, but someone who's really busy trying to work through a ton of emails isn't necessarily going to want to read 3 paragraphs and read this 4-sentence long press quote and this long bio. And just cut to the chase, keep it clean, keep it short, and you'll be a lot better off. This one was one that I actually liked. This is a format that I appreciate. It's very similar to what we were going over earlier. Everything's broken up nicely. His links were laid out very conveniently, and this is one I like. He's looking to get dates in July, August, September. A little open-ended, but that's fine. Gives us a range to kind of look for, and so this is a well put together email. I like that one. So, one thing too, before we hop off this, I wanted to show this as an example. It's really important to break up your paragraphs, and this doesn't just go with music booking or music emails. This is just professional emails in general. Both of these are the same paragraph of information, but it's like, would you rather read that? Would you rather read that? Most people are going to choose this one. It's just more digestible. You can break stuff up, and just kind of, you can take it in a little better visually with how it's broken up. And that's just standard practice when you're writing long emails, is to break it up. Because I get emails like this too, and it's just a band who's emailing and wanting to book a show, and it's just sometimes just twice this long, and you just got to break those up. So that's just a little pro tip, just from a writing perspective and just professional emails in general. And that's really that. It's not rocket science. It's just about being professional, being clean, being organized, and not overbearing in the emails. So again, here's a look at a format that I think is really strong. And it's not the only way to do it. I'm not here to say this is how your emails have to look, but it's a format that has worked well for me and worked well for artists that I've worked with as well. So thank you for watching, and I hope it's really helpful. And if it is helpful, share it with some other musicians who might find it beneficial. And we'll see you all soon.